What are we going around here? Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty stars Emily Browning. And I really like this movie. Granted, this came out a while ago. I want to say 2010 or 2011. Yeah, I think around that time, 2011. Yeah, but I've seen it several times since it came out. I remember when it used to be available on Netflix. It was available to stream on Netflix. I don't know if it still is, but that was when I first saw it. And since then, I've seen it maybe, I don't know, a dozen times. Possibly more than that. But anyways, Emily Browning, she plays this college girl named Lucy. And she's pretty much like your average college student who, you know, she's struggling to pay for her tuition, and she, you know, she's doing all these different odd jobs, and she works as a waitress. Of course, she's like barely scraping by, and then one day she comes across an ad in a paper for some kind of lingerie waitress. So she answers it. She calls a number and then sets up an appointment, an interview of sorts, and she meets with this woman who explains to her, you know, what is expected of her. Of course, they have her take off her clothes and strip, and they inspect almost every inch of her body, and of course, I guess unbeknownst to her, it's actually, you know, it doesn't just involve waiting on tables while wearing lingerie. It's a little more involved than that. But of course, actually, there's no sex that's involved. I guess you could say it's kind of like she becomes a part of this, like, secret underground, I guess you could say, like, escort kind of service. But there's absolutely no sex involved. It's just, yeah, it's sexual, and, you know, there are moments that, like, would kind of like make you think, you know, that seems kind of weird, and but yeah, it's just, I guess you could say it's, I don't want to say like not voyeurism, but exhibitionism, I guess, in a sense. And so, yeah, you know, of course, she gets involved in this whole thing, and, you know, they pay her very well, and I guess because of that, she's finally able to have a little breathing room when it comes to paying her tuition, paying her rent, and in fact, she's able to move into a new, some kind of like new condo or something, a new luxurious apartment, but then of course later on she gets much more involved, and she, you know, she tells this woman who runs this, you know, underground thing, tells her that she needs more work. So she becomes, I guess, what is referred to as Sleeping Beauty, a Sleeping Beauty of sorts. But what they do is they give her a drink, and it kind of like, you know, makes her real sleepy. And they have her lay in this bed, and that's when the different wealthy clients come in. They're allowed to lay in the bed with her, pretty much, but except, you know, they're not allowed to do anything really sexual, I guess, although they try, but yeah, they're not allowed to. So I mean, that's why I say, like, there's no actual sex in this, I guess. It's more like, I mean, there's no actual sex, but there is, I guess you could say, I'm not even sure what the right word is to use. More like, that's just more, again, like, I guess, exhibitionism, lusting, I guess you could say, desire. And while, yeah, like, I will say, like, if you're easily offended by this kind of subject matter, obviously you're not going to like this movie. But otherwise, you know, if you don't mind it, and if you want to see an interesting take on, you know, the whole world of escorts and escort service, and then you might be interested in this. I will say I felt definitely Emily Brown, she does give a really great performance in this. She doesn't come off, for me, she doesn't come off as helpless. Which I, you know, is something that I found very interesting, you know. She doesn't come off as, you know, this helpless young girl who's, you know, has no idea what to do with her life or anything. And it's just, you know, yeah, she's, like I said, an average student trying to pay her tuition, struggling to get by and all that, and she just happens to get pulled into this job, into this secret underground thing, and, you know, where obviously all the clients are these, I guess you could say, wealthy, well, obviously wealthy, the wealthy elite of society, or it also, too, of course, there's a lot of nudity in this, but for me it came off as tasteful, also artistic. I mean, I wouldn't say like the most, it's not like the most artsy or artistic kind of movie I've ever seen, but it does have that element to it. I gotta admit that. So, yeah, I mean, overall, I give this a rating of, I gotta give it 8.5. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Maybe even 9 at the most, but yeah, I don't know, it's 8.5 out of 10. I will say, you know, the ending was also interesting, kind of shocking, but I mean, well, for me, you know, I saw the ending wasn't really that surprising, because ultimately she finds out what's going on, and she realizes, I guess, pretty much like how deep in it she is, and which is pretty much what I expected. I mean, especially from a movie like this. So, yeah, I mean, you got to figure at some point the main character is going to realize how messed up it is, and so, yeah. That's why, otherwise, like, if the ending was different, if there was like more of a twist to the ending, then I would definitely give it like a solid 9, maybe even 9.5. But yeah, otherwise, like I said, yeah, 8.5 out of 10 definitely. I do recommend watching this, especially if you're a fan of Emily Browning, or if you're just a fan of unique movies. So yeah, that's it. That'll do it for this review. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, till next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking in. Peace. Let everyone run.